North Koreans added Donald Trump's praise of Kim Jong-un in an unprecedented week for international geopolitics, during which Donald Trump praised the North Korean leader shortly after disparaging Canada's prime minister. One group of people has been particularly shocked by the U.S. president's upending of diplomatic norms. Canada's small community of North Korean defectors has been shocked and infuriated by Trump's contrasting treatment of the two leaders. For Justin Trudeau after the G7 meeting in Quebec and flattery for Kim Jong-un at the summit in Singapore. Julie and David, who both asked to use pseudonyms for fear of retaliation, are a married couple who escaped from North Korea in 2005 and now live in Toronto. Speaking through a translator, Julie could not contain her anger at Trump's behavior, attacking Prime Minister Trudeau, but then, 24 hours later, going to Singapore and praising a dictator who is a murderer. It was unbearable to watch, she said. She was particularly incensed by Trump's failure to raise the subject of human rights abuses during his meetings with the Kim, who he described as a very talented man with a great personality. They didn't address what was happening to the people in North Korea. All he did was praise Kim Jong-un. Unbelievable, said Julie. Between 80,000 and 120,000 political prisoners are held in North Korean prisons, according to a UN commission of inquiry, which found that the regime's crimes included extermination, murder, enslavement, torture, imprisonment, rape, forced abortions and other UAL violence, persecution on political, religious, racial, and gender grounds, the forcible transfer of populations, the enforced disappearance of persons and the inhumane act of knowingly causing prolonged starvation. Julie, 44, worked in a fishery company but defected in 2005 after being imprisoned for her political beliefs. She escaped through China, but was forced to leave her 10-year-old son behind. He was finally reunited with her 4 years later. She met her husband David, 43, in a refugee settlement in South Korea, and the couple emigrated to Canada in 2008. Their sentiments over Trump's treatment of Kim were shared by many defectors and their supporters in Canada. Jacqueline Ann, a Toronto lawyer, has represented many exiles over the years, and helped win the release last year of Hyeon Soo Lim, a Canadian pastor who was given a life sentence with hard labor for allegedly meddling in North Korean state affairs. She described Trump's actions as a complete mockery of democracy and celebration and admiration of a dictatorship. It's absolutely deplorable, and, said many North Koreans, see Canada as a safe haven, far from the reach of Kim's regime. Trump, in contrast, has grown increasingly impatient with Canada and a growing row over trade rules. Canada is the most compassionate country in the world, said Anne. Trump should apologize to Trudeau. He wants to get into a trade with Canada and then fly off to be with this dictator, the worst in the world. Rocky Kim, 38, fled North Korea in his early 20s in 2003, and made his way to Canada, where he now runs a heating and ventilation company in Toronto. In North Korea, he spent time in the labor camps, and recalls seeing people die of hunger. It's not a normal country, he insists in a phone interview. It's a dynasty, with the people living in slavery. Kim said he thought the U.S. president was blinded by his desire to land a historic deal with the Pyongyang regime, but came away empty-handed. He got nothing. Kim did not promise to agree to denuclearization. In Singapore, Kim Jong-un signed a joint statement committing to denuclearization, but it was a vaguely worded commitment that the regime has made several times before, and Rocky Kim said he thought that North Korea will never give up its nuclear weapons.